There's a strange kind of comfort in being unhappy. Not the dramatic movie scene kind of unhappy, but the quiet, familiar kind. The kind where you wake up, check your phone, see their message, and already feel tired. The kind where you know something isn't right, but leaving feels harder than staying. Welcome to emotional quicksand. Some relationships don't break you loudly. They slowly convince you to stay broken. Through guilt, manipulation, false promises, or just enough affection to keep you hooked like a Netflix series that stopped being good 3 seasons ago. But hey, you've come this far, right? Here's the truth though. Uncomfortable, but necessary. People escape worse situations every single day. People rebuild after losing everything. People walk away with nothing but self-respect and still end up winning. So the real question is, why not you? Let's start there. Step 1. Recognizing the comfortable prison. First things first. If you don't realize you're stuck, you won't even try to leave. A toxic relationship rarely looks toxic from the inside. It looks like they're just stressed. It's my fault too. It'll get better. At least I'm not alone. Ah, yes. The greatest hits of emotional self-deception. Let's translate a few things into reality. They're just stressed. They consistently take it out on you. It's my fault too. You've been trained to take responsibility for everything. It'll get better. You've been saying that for how long now? At least I'm not alone. You are, just with an audience. Here's a simple test. If your relationship requires you to shrink, stay silent, over-explain, or walk on eggshells, you're not in love. You're in survival mode. And survival mode is exhausting. A little humor break, because you deserve one. If you need a strategy guide, emotional armor, and a recovery plan just to talk to your partner, that's not a relationship. That's a boss fight. And guess what? You're allowed to quit the game. Why people stay, and it's not because they're weak. Let's be real. People don't stay because they're stupid. They stay because they've been slowly conditioned. Their self-worth has been chipped away. They're afraid of the unknown. They remember the good version of the person. They hope things will go back to how they were. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not in love with who they are. You're in love with who they were, or who they promised to be. And that person, right now, they don't exist. The shift starts here. Before leaving physically, you leave mentally. You start observing instead of excusing. You stop saying, maybe I'm overreacting, and start saying, why am I constantly uncomfortable? You stop trying to fix them and start asking, why am I accepting this? Final thought for this step. You don't need more strength. You need more clarity. Because once you clearly see the situation, staying becomes harder than leaving. Step 2. Breaking the emotional spell. Without drama, without chaos. Now that you've started seeing things clearly, here comes the tricky part. Detaching while you're still emotionally attached. Yeah, I know. It sounds like trying to diet while holding a pizza. But stay with me. The emotional spell is real toxic relationships. Don't just trap your time. They trap your mind. You're not just dealing with a person. You're dealing with intermittent affection, hot, cold behavior, guilt loops. You're the problem. Hope addiction. Maybe this time it'll change. This creates something very similar to addiction. One day they're distant, the next day they're sweet. And boom, your brain goes, see? This is why we stay. No, that's not love. That's a psychological roller coaster designed to keep you seated. Step 2.1. Stop reacting. Start observing. Right now, your biggest weakness isn't them. It's your automatic reactions. They say something hurtful, you defend yourself. They ignore you, you chase. They come back, you forgive instantly. It's like they have your emotional remote control, and they're pressing all the buttons. So we change the game. Instead of reacting, you pause and observe. Try this. Next time they do something that usually triggers you, mentally step back and think, interesting, there it is again. No drama, no confrontation, yet, just awareness. Humor reality check. If someone keeps showing you the same behavior over and over, at some point, it's not a plot twist. It's the whole movie, and you've already seen it 12 times. Step 2.2. Create emotional distance, even before physical distance. You don't have to disappear overnight like a spy in a movie. Start small. Share less about your feelings. Stop over-explaining yourself. Don't rush to reply every time. Reinvest your energy into you. Friends, hobbies, goals. This is not about playing games. This is about taking your power back quietly. Because right now, too much of your emotional energy is being spent instead of invested. Step 2.3. Challenge the illusion. Your mind will try to pull you back with thoughts like, what if I regret leaving? What if they change? What if I don't find someone else? Let's answer those honestly. You're already feeling regret while staying. If they were going to change, you wouldn't be here. Finding someone else is not the goal. Finding yourself again is a slightly savage, but necessary truth. You're not hard to love. You're just giving your love to someone who doesn't know what to do with it. That's like giving a smartphone to someone who only knows how to use a calculator. Step 2.4. Rebuild your internal voice. Right now, their voice might be louder in your head than your own. We fix that. Start replacing. Maybe it's my fault, to I deserve consistency. I don't want to lose them, to I don't want to lose myself. This is just how relationships are? No. This is how this relationship is. Big difference. Final thought for this step. You don't break free in one big moment. You break free in small, quiet decisions. Not replying immediately, not explaining yourself, not accepting behavior that hurts you. And one day, you'll realize something powerful. You're no longer emotionally available for what once controlled you. When you're ready, ask for the final step. And that's where we flip the switch completely. That's where you stop surviving and start taking your life back with confidence, clarity, and just the right amount of bold energy. Step 3. Taking your power back, for real this time. This is where everything changes. Not because they suddenly become a better person, but because you stop accepting less than you deserve. No fireworks, no dramatic speech, no movie soundtrack. Just a quiet, powerful decision. I'm done betraying myself. Step 3.1. Make the decision, not the announcement. A lot of people make the mistake of talking before deciding. They say, I think we need a break. Maybe we should change things. No, that invites negotiation, debate, manipulation. Instead, you decide first, internally, firmly, clearly. This no longer works for me. That's it. Because once the decision is solid, the conversation becomes simple, not emotional chaos. Quick humor check. You don't need a 3-hour TED Talk to explain why you're leaving. This isn't a group project. You're not asking for permission. You're submitting your resignation. Step 3.2. Expect resistance and don't fall for it. The moment you pull away, something magical happens. They change. Suddenly, they listen more. They promise everything. They become the person you always wanted. And your brain goes, wait, this is it. This is the moment. No, this is not transformation. This is panic. People don't change in a few days what they ignored for months or years. So when this happens, don't get emotional. Get observant. Ask yourself, why did it take me leaving for them to treat me right? That question alone will keep you grounded. Step 3.3. Leave with strategy, not impulse. You don't have to explode your life overnight. Be smart. If needed, prepare financially. Strengthen your support system. Friends, family. Plan where you'll go. What you'll do next. Reduce emotional dependency step by step. This is not weakness. This is strategy. Because the goal isn't just to leave, it's to not come back. Step 3.4. Cut the emotional supply. Here's where most people fail. They leave physically, but stay emotionally. Checking their messages, watching their social media, replying just to be nice. Keeping the door slightly open. That's like quitting sugar, but licking donuts. Just to remember the taste. You're not moving on. You're torturing yourself politely. So be honest with yourself. Distance creates clarity. Contact creates confusion. Choose wisely. A little tough love with humor. If you keep reopening the door, don't be surprised when the same person walks back in. It's not a new chapter, it's the same episode on replay. Step 3.5. Rebuild yourself. This is where you win. Now comes the part people underestimate. Meeting yourself again. For a while, your identity was tied to that relationship. Now you get to rediscover what you like, what you tolerate, and what you don't. What kind of life you actually want. Start small. Do things alone. Try new routines. Set personal goals. Take care of your body and mind. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming you again. Final truth, the one that sets you free. You didn't lose them. You stopped losing yourself. And that's the real comeback. There are people out there rebuilding their lives from zero. After heartbreak, loss, betrayal, failure, and they rise. Not because they're special, but because one day they decided, enough is enough. So again, I'll ask you the same question from the beginning. Why not you? If this hit you in a way you didn't expect, good. That means you're not numb anymore. That means something inside you is waking up. Now here's the thing. You can go back to your old patterns tomorrow. Or you can start becoming someone who doesn't tolerate what once felt normal. And that kind of change? It doesn't happen in one video. It happens with reminders, with perspective, with truth, again and again. So if you felt even 1% of clarity watching this, stay close. Because this space isn't about perfect people. It's about people who are tired of repeating the same mistakes. People who are ready to grow, even when it's uncomfortable. If that's you, then you already know what to do. See you in the next one.